This is the new Volkswagen Arteon, and VW has big plans for this car. Don't worry, of course, they make a full-size version you can actually fit in. So this is Volkswagen gone posh, you see. This guy's designed to take on the likes of the Audi A5 Sportback and BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe, and it is a very smart-looking thing. I mean, check out all the creases on the bodywork, that lovely paint scheme and the huge, bold grille. This car stands out, though there is a price to pay for that. You see, it starts from £38,000, which it's quite a lot for a Volkswagen, really, isn't it? Now, if you click up there, you can go to carwire.co.uk to compare offers online, all from the comfort of your own home. So, yeah, this car looks great from the outside. How about the inside? It's actually a little bit of a disappointment. The reason for that is that the dash design is pretty much identical to the much cheaper VW Passat, and I don't think it has the same kind of panache as the interior design of an Audi A5 Sportback, and the quality isn't quite as good either. I mean, yes, there's loads of soft touch materials, and it does feel very, very nice. It's just, if you were to reach down low to illustrate just how big the door bins are, they're very big, you'll feel that the plastic down here is cheap and brittle. It is much softer, actually, in the Audi. It just feels a bit more at market, the Audi. Still, this car does counter with absolutely loads of standard equipment. So you get leather seats, you get tri-zone climate control, so temperature for your passenger, yourself, and the people in the back as well. You get all-round LED lights, you get those pulsing indicators. I'll just turn the ignition on so I can show you something else. All cars get a digital driver's display. You'd have to pay extra for that in an Audi A5. Now, as standard, you get an 8-inch touchscreen, and it's all pretty easy to use and navigate through. Because you've got touchscreen rather than a swivel wheel system, it's not quite so easy to use when you're driving, but it's generally quite good. And if you click up there, you can see my full in-depth video review of the infotainment system. This is actually the upgraded 9-inch system, and it has no physical buttons at all. It has that bigger, sharper display. And it also comes with gesture controls, though the only thing you can do is scroll through the radio stations or menu by waving your hand. This is all the gestures you can do. It makes this noise like you're in some kind of like kung fu movie. It's kind of addictive. Look, you can do it on the menu as well. Wipe on, wipe off, wipe on, wipe off. Sorry. Ridiculous thing about that, though, is that even though you can scroll through the radio stations, you end up having to press the button to actually pick the station. So it all seems a bit pointless. What's not pointless is what they've done in the back seats. So, you see, this car is based on the Passat, and that's a huge spacious car in the rear. But this Arteon is actually slightly longer and wider. I mean, look at this. Look at the amount of legroom I've got in this car. It's insane. You can really stretch out, and the footwell's there massive as well. The roof line does slope, but even if I sit up straight, I've just about got enough headroom, and it doesn't really matter because you could slouch anyway, because there's all that legroom. Now, if you need to carry 3 people at once, it is doable because the central seat is quite wide, it's not too high, and those huge footwells mean there's lots of space for everyone's feet. And actually in the middle, there's still enough headroom just about. So it's doable, surprising really. There's some extra practical features. So you have a couple of cup holders here. You've got a through loading hatch there for your skis. And in fact, it's almost wide enough. I think you could fit a snowboard through there. Another feature I like are the ISOFIX points. You see, you don't have to remove the covers. They just push out the way, and the actual anchor points are really easy to access. That helps a lot when you're trying to load a baby seat. But yeah, I mean, if you want a nice posh looking car, which is brilliant for carrying rear passengers, this is great. Look at that. You can tell I'm blown away by it. Anyway, let's move on to the boot because it's just as impressive there. So, because this car is a hatchback, it's nice and easy to load, though VW doesn't call it a hatchback because they probably don't think people will pay £38,000 for a hatchback. Instead, they call it a fastback. But still, yeah, look. Nice and easy to load, and the amount of space you've got, I mean, it dwarfs our large suitcase. The space you've got is way more than you get in an Audi A5 Sportback or a BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe. I mean, look, it's huge. There's not too much of a load lip to lift stuff across. There's a few useful features, tethering hooks here, down here, and a hook here, but that's pretty much it. There's no 12-volt socket, actually, which is a bit annoying. And if you look under here, there's space for a full-size spare wheel. I mean, like I said, this boot is ginormous. That means that when you want to fold the seats down, you do have to reach quite a way to get to the catches on the top of the seat backs. It's not the easiest. In fact, I'm going to have to climb in the car for this. There you go. And when you fold the seats down, look at the space you've got. Now, there is a bit of a ridge there, but it's It's got like a little run up to it, so if you need to push things to the front, it's not as hard as you may think. Look, they do just go up that ridge nicely. Now, if you click up there, you can watch my full detailed practicality video on this car, see how easy it is to fit a child seat in the back of it, what it's like with 3 adults in the back, and just how much stuff you can cram into this huge boot. Okay, that's the walk around bit dealt with. Now then, it's time for the Car Wow 5 annoying things about this car. The rear window only seems to go down about halfway. It's not very good. This diesel Arteon has completely pointless yet totally blatant fake exhaust. The real exhausts are actually hidden under here. Stupid. The load cover is absolutely blooming massive, and you can't store it under the car's false floor. Look, that's really the best I can do. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm hamming it up. While you can get wireless charging for your mobile phone, the actual cubby that you put it in isn't big enough for some of the larger handsets. Doesn't quite fit. This large touchscreen is an absolute magnet for fingerprints, as my oily skinned assistant will now demonstrate. She hasn't just eaten a bag of chips either. I mean, that's just normal. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features, which helps make up for all this. Here's 5. Even the way the bonnet opens is stylish. Look, it's like a clamshell, and it'll pop up in the rare occasion that you hit a pedestrian to help cushion the blow so they don't hit the head on the engine. The surround view cameras let you look around the front, passenger side, rear, or driver's side of the car, or get a full bird's eye view. You can get the car with double glazed laminated front windows for extra soundproofing, and they're frameless as well, so they look cool. Probably shouldn't lean on them then. The car uses its satellite navigation technology to automatically lower your cruise control speed if you're entering a lower speed zone, approaching a junction or a bend. And at night, it'll automatically shine the lights round the corner of the bend before you approach it. The car can tell if you fall asleep or suddenly become unresponsive behind the wheel and will automatically pull over to the side of the road. Don't worry, I'm just acting fine. Now it's time to hit the road to see what this car is like to drive. Considering it's a big car, this Arteon is actually surprisingly easy to drive in town. Visibility is all right, though the view out the back window is a little bit compromised because it's quite shallow. Still, it's easy to manoeuvre, and part of the reason for that is the fact that it has something called progressive steering, so you can go from lock to lock in just 2 turns of the wheel. So it's easy to actually move in and out of tight spaces or park. It's great. Also, it's comfy over bumps. Top spec versions actually get adaptive dampers with a comfort mode, and that does smooth out the road surface, which is great. They also get an automatic gearbox as standard, which helps when you're just shuffling along in traffic. Now, when you head out into the open road, you can actually press the button down here, the driving mode, put the car into sports to firm up the suspension, and that should, in theory, make it feel more sporty, but yeah, it doesn't make it particularly fun to drive. It's a competent car on a twisty road, but it's never ever fun. So you want to take it out of sport mode because it's just too firm and bouncy then, especially if you've got the largest alloy wheels. I can't fault the car though, because it does all you really need it to. It drives securely, and the top spec versions also get all-wheel drive, so you get some added grip. When you head out on the motorway, this is a fairly relaxing cruiser. I don't think it's quite as quiet as something like an Audi A5 Sportback, but it's all right. This particular car has the top of the range 240 horsepower diesel engine. It can go from 0 to 60 in just 6.5 seconds. Thing is, while it is very quick, it just doesn't seem as smooth or as relaxed as a 3-litre diesel that you can get in some premium models of this size. Listen, I'll put my foot down. It's a little bit noisy, that engine. I'd probably go for one of the petrols. They're quieter and faster. Now, if you click on the pop-out banner up there or on the link below the video, you can go to carwow.co.uk for more information and to compare deals on the Volkswagen Arteon without having to haggle. So then, what's my verdict on this car? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Arteon. It might be a little bit expensive for a Volkswagen, but it's spacious and it's very stylish. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it. Click on our logo to subscribe to this channel, on the video window for more content, or on the choose and buy icon to go to carwow.com to see how much you can save on a new car. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? It was the picture of the old VW CC, the Arteon's predecessor, on the phone screen in the boot.